Good afternoon. Welcome to Dad's Rules channel. Today we're going to discuss TV shows that I feel that are great, that all dads should watch, get into. I'm going to discuss more TV shows down the line that I like, hopefully that you like. But today I want to discuss a great show, a great sitcom. Came on like around the mid-90s on Fox called Martin. Now, if you ever watch Martin, for those out there that watch Martin, we all know that Martin was a funny show. Martin Lawrence is a talented brother, talented comedian, has had a heck of a career. But when it all comes down to it, it started with the show Martin, right? So Martin composed of Martin and Gina and their three friends. Pam, also known as Pamzilla, also known as Weavy Smalls. And then you had Cole or Coley Cole. And then you had his tall, bald-headed brother, Tommy, right? So I like to refer to certain shows, certain musicians, people that collaborate together as a storm that comes together that really, really works. And these three actors, that came together, to form this sitcom, which was funny as all get out, they came together and it really, really worked. Talking about episodes like Chilligan's Island, we talking about episodes, the Halloween specials, we just talking about various episodes and the relationship that Martin and that his girl Gina had, right, which is a very special relationship. And I'm sure that a lot of the husbands out there can relate to Martin and Gina and how they coexisted and how they got along, right? Now, it's nothing better in the world to have really, really good friends, people that you can laugh with, they got your back, you can count on. And that's what Pam, Cole, and Tommy was. They were their friends, right? Martin didn't get along with Pam, but there was always love, right? But, you always have that one friend that you want to snap on and they snap back. And then you had your boys. You had Cole and you had Tommy. Now, this whole sitcom was situated in Detroit. So he was a Detroit Pistons fan. Nobody's perfect. I'm a Knicks fan, right? So, I just want to discuss a little bit today about the TV show Martin and some of the characters that Martin Lawrence played that made him famous. One of the characters was Shanae Jenkins, right? Now, we all know Shanae Jenkins, right? She was the neighbor that lived across the hall from Martin, right? And we all remember the episode with Kid from Kid and Play, when he won, when she won the date with Kid, and all that went on and how it was funny. He and Shanae said, "Kiss me like you kissed that big-headed girl." So Shanae was great. Also, with her beauty parlor, when Gina needed those Pistons tickets and she went to go work at the beauty parlor, and she was doing hair, and she had to do Marla's feet, so she had got that sand out. So that's another funny episode, another great character that he played. Also, you got Mr. Otis. Mr. Otis was a security guard, the older guy, with the gut and all that. We all ran into those types back in the days, those older gentlemen, that just took their job just a little too serious. If you was walking fast through the mall, they're going to tell you to slow down. And slow down, I'm trying to get to the store. Then you had, I think the all-time favorite, and that was Jerome. Jerome's in the house. I said, Jerome's in the house. I said, Jerome, shut your mouth. That Jerome Rome, And that episode that he had that date with Pam, and how funny it was, and especially the episode where he was in the bodega, and the couple was speaking and they didn't know that he understood the language and he kicked the language back to them. So, that's another one of those characters that Martin played, and goes to show you how great that TV show was. I am willing to say that Martin was one of those shows, along with A Living Color, 21 Jump Street, shows like The Simpsons, the Tracy Ullman show, that made Fox what they are today as far as the network is, showing good content, right? But all things, unfortunately have to come to an end. I'm not going to discuss what went on at the end of the show because I don't want to take away from its greatness. I'm just going to say that these are one of those shows, plenty of shows that we're going to discuss in the future that I think that all men should watch if you want to get a good laugh. We're going to talk about other shows too. Definitely one of my shows is that, absolutely love, watch with my sons and would laugh, was Married with Children. But, I'm going to leave it on that note. If you like this content, this is once again, this is Dad Rules. This is for all the dads out there, right? If you like this show, give a thumbs up, like the video. Subscribe, definitely subscribe, because I'm going to try to put content out there every week. And until then, I will see you guys next week. Yo, peace out.